What about going safari hunting? You never told me that story.
I didn't tell you that one? Well, we had been to the Delta, and it rained, so we couldn't pick no cotton. But we stayed there waiting on the rain to stop.
Okay.
But by the time we, whoever decided we done waited long enough, we're going back home. So we get on the truck and we on our way back home. As we were traveling, we had to go alongside of the lake for a good little spell. And we see 3 alligators out on the sandbank.
Okay.
And they all got their mouth open.
Yeah.
And they catching flies. When they get a mouthful, it don't take long. He snapped down and that's a snack. Open mouth again, and here come a whole bunch of more. So I says, we could catch one of them alligators if we had a rope. Yeah, we could. I said, well, when we get home, I'll get a rope. One of the boys' father had a car, and he had been driving. He says, I'll get my dad's car, and we'll drive back down there. So there was 3 of us. When we got back to the area, they still out there with their mouth open.
Wow.
Hey, that's gonna be a piece of cake.
What you about to do with this alligator? Oh my goodness.
Well, what I had thought we would do, catching wasn't gonna be no problem because he's still out there with his mouth open. So I got a rope, and I'm gonna just, like the cowboys, do it around and rope him, and we'll draw that rope tight and wrap it around his snout, and we're gonna bring him home and show him to the neighborhood. That was our main goal.
Right. Look what I got. Oh man.
Yes, sir. And we got out there and said, I'm gonna get the big one. You guys can catch one of them smaller ones. Both of them. They both had a rope. But I'm going for the big one. I want to show them I can rodeo this thing here.
Used for the confidence.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is get between him and the water. And I got him trapped. He's going to try to get to the water, and I'm going to rope him, and then the other guys will come and help me, tie him down. I eased on out there and got between him and the water. And somehow, I think he heard me, the vibration on the ground. I think he heard that because he recognized something is out here before time. I didn't get a chance to cover my area too good. Here he come after me. Man.
You forgot about them flies, huh?
Oh yeah. I got a big snack here. That alligator almost caught me. I mean, I couldn't run fast as I needed to run in the sand. And the sand was bogged down. I mean, it was half a leg high.
Right, so that slowed you down.
That slowed me down.
You don't want to get in the water. You faster there.
No, I don't want that. I want no water. I'm trying to get to the ground, to the dirt now.
Right.
This sand ain't working too good. And he almost caught me. The Lord bless me, man.
Oh, wow.
Because I didn't have no backup plans. The only plans I had was catching them and wrapping them with that rope.
So when that didn't work, you said, well, I guess I got to run.
I got to run. And he see where I'm trying to go to, and he's trying to cut me off from the dirt. And I'm trying to make it to the dirt so I can get some space between me and the gator. And so that was quite an ordeal.
I bet.
But that was my first and last safari.
Well, that's an interesting career that you had with that safari hunting right there.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So that's kind of how that turned out. And once I hit the dirt, goodbye, Gator. See ya. I got somewhere to go.
That's crazy. You know, they say that gators can run up to 22 miles an hour. So had it been one of those, you know, he might have seen you on the dirt. He might have came close. Yeah. 22 miles an hour ain't no joke. Now I don't know how long they can keep up with that pace, but that's like one of the fastest recordings so far.
Okay, but whatever speed he can do, I can do a little bit better.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. Well, let's see. What about Now we've talked about swimming. You told me that you was always a good swimmer.
Okay.
And that your brothers threw you in there. That's how you learn how, right?
Yeah, right.
But how does your swimming experience lead up to your recent baptism? Because I want to talk about that. I don't think we've got that on record yet, and that's a really cool story.
Okay, repeat that again so I can get it.
So I want to know how you were inspired to get baptized recently. You know, when you got baptized a couple years, like a year ago?
Yeah. Well, when I went through the baptism, I was only 7 years old.
Okay.
And I learned how to swim when I was 6, but it was at the end of the swimming season, and it always kind of came back to me every once in a while, because I was more interested in the people see me that I could swim than I was getting baptized. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I wanted to get baptized again, just in case if I put a little too much emphasis on swimming than I did being baptized.
Gotcha.
And so I got baptized again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how was that? Was that a good experience?
That was good. Mm-hmm. That was in a baptizing pool. Mm-hmm. Whole works.
Mm-hmm. Now the first time you got baptized, I was just in the creek, wasn't it?
It was wasn't actually a creek, but the creek had been up, and the water had received back down, and there was some water caught off, and that's where I got baptized at.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said you was just trying to swim.
I want to show them I can swim, man.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So this second time around, you made sure that you got fully dipped in there.
Oh yeah.
For all the right reasons.
Oh yeah.
Amen to that.
Yeah. So that's how that turned out.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then back then, did y'all call the creek or the lake where you were swimming? Did you call it the bottom? Is that what it's called? Or was that something else?
You had to go down in the bottom to get to the creek.
Oh. Okay.
You had to cross the bottom.
Okay, that's where you crossed. Though.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was quite an ordeal, and it's a good thing that I learned to swim early, because I told you I saved 4 guys from drowning, and that was a biggie.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we talked about that. That's quite a feat right there.
Yeah.
And especially for you not really having been swimming long, you know, before you got called to do that. So.
Well, I had never had no swimming lessons. Excuse me, and when these events came up, I didn't know what to do. So I just knew if I don't catch this guy pretty soon, he's gone. Because if he get past that last tree, the willow is hanging in the water, and I gave him the stick. Because everything he reached up and catch,
break it.
He took it with him. Yeah, so I was trying to catch him, and I was blessed to be able to catch him, and gave him the stick. The first stick I picked up, I just had a handful of mush. It was rotten. And I just threw that down, and I grabbed another one while I was running.
Right.
And put that out there to him, and he caught on to it. But that was his last chance.
Yeah, he was running out of options then.
I'm telling you.
It's a good thing he caught on when he did.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about did your dad have a lot of wise sayings? Like just like quotables, like quotes that he would say, and you'd be like, what is, like kind of like Uncle Morgan.
Um, he used to tease a little bit about Hanks.
Okay.
He, my uncle died, and he stayed with us.
Uh-huh.
You know, he died. We all went to the funeral, right?
Okay.
And we got back home from the funeral. Irene said, "Well, I guess Uncle Frank's satisfied now. He be his own Hank. He don't have to pretend to be one." He used to scare people around.
Oh.
And he tried to scare us. And we said, "We ain't scared of no Hank. Be out there. We got our slingshot with us. Boy, I'll make y'all throw them things away." And, well, yeah, that's your choice. But we don't be running the first right away, you know. We got to make sure there's something big is chasing us. And we was coming from over to Big Mama's house. And he knew we was over there. And he was just waiting for us to come back, and he going to run out there and scare us. And I told Gene, I says, "Yeah, Frank, I see he coming out, he going to try to scare us." I said, "Let's pretend we don't see him." There was a big oak tree between where he had to come and where we were.
Mm-hmm.
So he run out the gate, the front gate, and he cut in where he had to go to get behind the tree. Mm. So there he's behind the tree, and we ain't very far from the tree. Mm. And he I says, when he sticks his head back out there, I'm gonna be ready for him this time. I know he's gonna do it again.
You gonna put a slingshot on? Oh no!
I pulled that slingshot out. You know how them bullets do in the westerns?
Mm-hmm. Right. Bing, bing.
Yeah, I hit right above his head. And he didn't have no hair. He was bald headed.
Okay. Oh man.
Well, Frank come out behind that tree. "No, boy, it's me. Y'all dangerous with them things." Oh, we thought you was Hank. We didn't know.
Oh man.
Yeah. So we got the last laugh on that one.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But speaking of Hanks, you know, we talked briefly about that, but I do want to go a little bit more in detail because that's a term I never heard of. That really fascinated me when you mentioned coming across Hanks and, you know, not being afraid, but kind of just watching them to see what they do and things like that. So I guess it was a pretty popular term, you know, when you were coming up. But just for those who aren't familiar. Yeah. Can you explain what a Hank is and how that goes?
Well, they call them Hanks, but I repeat, I never saw one with a name tag. I'm a Hank. Mm-hmm. What I have seen, I seen a dog. He was this tall, and I see him again. He's this tall. Can't no dog do that. Regular dog, as I know him. Right. So that's what I know. Mm-hmm. But I never saw one with a name tag on. So I don't know a Hank from a non-Hank. Mm-hmm. But what I've seen and what they do, regular dogs or cows can't do it. Mm-hmm. That I know.
Yeah, there's something special about it.
It's something. It's something out there. They call them Hanks or ghosts or whatever you want to call them. But I don't know. I don't know his first name.
But do you have? Let me say it like this: do you think Hanks are good or bad?
Well, just going off of experience, I've seen things, and I've seen them change from a little dog to a big dog, and a cow the same way. Mm. And I don't think they will bother you if you don't mess with them. Mm-hmm. That's how I felt.
Mm-hmm.
And I been out there and crossed a lot of, let's say, Hank territory, where people say they saw a Hank.
Mm-hmm.
But I say, I don't know if I seen one or not. I never saw one with a name tag that I'm a Mr. Hank.
Right. So I just had to figure it out.
And I never had to run from one.
Mm-hmm.
When I always would see, whether it be a man or a dog or a cow, I didn't never. I always knew that was a spirit of some kind.
Yeah. Was it just a feeling you had?
No, I'm looking at it.
Oh, okay. You could tell something different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is, people figure on running when they see something.
Right.
I never felt that way. I never felt scary when I saw something. That's just how I feel. And I don't think my motto was, if I don't bother it, it won't bother me.
There you go.
And I'm not going to bother it. If he let me by, I'm going on my way.
Mm. That's interesting. Because I think that if you believe in God, you gotta believe in the devil, right? There's good and there's bad.
Okay.
So I wonder how the Haints just come about. If that's like an animal spirit, but you say no. You seen a man as well that you recognize as a Haint.
I've seen a man.
Just spirits that aren't that are still on Earth, for whatever reason. That's interesting.
Yeah. And like I said, I don't figure he's going to bother me if I don't bother him.
Mm.
And I don't have no intention of bothering him.
Yeah.
I have seen there was I don't know what it was when I first heard it before I saw it.
Mm.
But it was right by the graveyards.
Mm.
Would have to be.
Haint territory.
Yeah. So, as it's running towards me, but there's bushes between us. I'm in the road, and there's bushes on either side of the bank of the road.
Okay.
And whatever it is making a noise like a cow, not a grown cow, but smaller than a grown cow.
Mm.
And so I hear it coming, to the point where I stopped because it was getting closer. And is he gonna run through them bushes?
Right, because you can't see it.
I can't see it. When I stopped and looked up, he jumped over them bushes and hit one in the road, and then next over the other set of bushes on that side of the road.
That's wild.
So I stopped. Well, I was stopped while I'm looking at this. It looked like a cow up there in the air. And it was in like slow motion sort of.
Right.
And he hit the ground, up over the other bushes, and on down through the woods.
Man, that needs to stop for real.
Now, would you say it's time to go?
Yeah. It's time to go. I don't want to stick around and find out.
But see, so far, he haven't done nothing to you.
Right.
You haven't done nothing to it.
Mm-hmm.
So what you running for?
Yeah, you're right. There's a certain fear of the unknown, I think, that is...
get you going, huh?
Yeah, I think that's something that humans feel, innately. Just when you don't know what something is, you start to get a little wary, Which I'm not saying is good or bad. I just feel like that's common, to fear the unknown. But like you said, if it's not really challenging you, there's no real need to run. You don't necessarily got to get involved either. You just stay where you at and see what's going to happen.
Yeah. Anyway, my motto is I never run at the crack of the first stick.
Okay.
A rabbit may have stepped on a stick and broke it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, but when you saw that Hank in the sky, you knew that wasn't a rabbit.
No, I mean, can't no regular beast jump that high.
Uh-huh.
One in the road, and then next one over the bushes and down through the woods.
Mm. Interesting.
So, and I just knew I'm going to see him again. Whatever it is, I don't think he's going to keep going. He's going to check me out.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, he did.
Really?
He came back. When I saw him again, he was in the road, same road I was in.
Okay.
Coming towards me.
And what'd you do?
Well, I knew he was coming towards me, so I slowed down my walk. And then he slowed his walk down. And when he got almost to me, I stopped. And then he stopped. And stayed there until I went on.
Wow.
Okay, now, I got a choice now. Do I run or not? First of all, the way he jumped over them bushes at first, I can't outrun whatever this is.
Right.
So why do I want to run?
Try, yeah.
Yeah. So I stayed there. This thing went down the road in front of me, like a dog would do, you know, your pet dog.
Mm-hmm.
And when he got to a bank where the tallest bank in that area, that's where he decided to go up the bank.
Okay.
There were no twigs falling, no noise made. He just went right on up the bank. And I thought I was going to see him again because at that point, the bank of the road was going lower and lower.
Okay.
And I thought he was going to show up again at that point, but I never did see him no more.
So what do you think the purpose of a hang is?
I have no idea. It seemed like it'd be something that had passed and came back alive some kind of way. Spirit or whatever. I don't know.
Interesting.
But as I said before, whenever I saw something, it would come to me, it's not a real one.
Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah. I knew that from a good little ways up. And I ain't never ran because I saw something didn't look right.
What about when you saw the man that was a hang? Like what did that look like that let you know that wasn't a real person?
I saw him. There's a man had died. Not recently, let's say. Yeah. And I'm on this road where things been seen before by myself.
Okay.
And most of the time when I saw something, I was by myself. But I never had the running spirit.
Gotcha.
Run away from something.
Gotcha.
Because I just know I can't outrun the spirit, whatever it is. Can't outrun them. So ain't no use of me getting started. So I didn't think no more about the man I saw than I did the cow. No, I didn't think no more about it.
I was just wondering if he looked like, I don't know if he was really tall, unusually, dark or something like that.
No, it's average size.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to describe otherwise. One thing I noticed when I would see something, when walking, he's not bouncing up and down. He gliding.
Yeah, that's an indicator. That's a pretty big indicator right there.
Okay. He's gliding, including the man.
Yeah.
Now, I had a run-in with the man and one of the dogs. I had a run-in with them too.
Right.
And what I mean is, there's a bridge. When I saw the dog, he's at the other end of the bridge. Hadn't even got to the bridge yet, but he's coming my way. And he stopped in the shade of a tree. And when he started up again, he Oh, he changed sides on me.
Mm.
Yes, okay, well, you wanna change sides? That's a little sideshow for me. I mean, that's a little extra. You ain't charge no extra for that. Go ahead and change position, sizes, and whatever.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now he's coming towards me, and I'm walking slow on the bridge, and I noticed that he's over on my side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. I'll give you benefit of the doubt. I'll move over on the other side. I look up. He's back over on my side. I says, okay, you must have wanted to be over here because you was over here and left. I'm saying to myself now. I'm not talking out loud. And so I'll give you this side back. I'm not like that. I'll give you this side back if this is where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I look up again. He's over on my side again. And I'm saying to myself, and I don't know what you're up to, but you're going to have to do whatever you come to do because I'm not changing no sides no more.
Uh-huh.
I'm staying right where I am. He got almost to me, and he crossed over. This was a dog. He crossed over and went to the edge, jumped off the bridge. I ain't never seen him hit the water yet.
Wow.
Now, what you think is necessary to do?
I mean, I'm going to keep on walking at that point.
Well, maybe not walking, but maybe you'll up that walking a little bit.
Hey, I'm trying to be like you, Grandpa. I'm like, listen, I ain't going to run like... I mean, honestly, just specifically in that scenario, you know, I haven't come across a Hank, but I know the dogs, typically you start running and the dog feel like now that's something I can chase.
Yeah.
So I don't do no running around dogs anyways, you know what I mean? So I don't know if I would have ran in that scenario. I probably would have just kept walking. And I probably would have been turning around every 5 seconds just to see if anything was behind me. That's what I would have did.
That's when the running would kick in.
Yeah, right. Just in case something was on my shoulder.
Yeah.
But that's just interesting, you know. And then so when you saw these Hanks, did you ever see a Hank like once you moved out of Mississippi, or was that always kind of in the same area where you would see them?
There was different areas, but it was in Mississippi. I never saw one in Wisconsin. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that's.
But I've talked to people that they swear that they're here just like they are down there.
Yeah. How about your brothers and sisters? Did they ever say they saw something like that?
Gene had run into a couple,
Mm-hmm.
and I think we saw the same one.
Mm-hmm.
He was a snake when I saw him. Gene saw him as a bear.
Man, that's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild. But yeah, I remember you telling me the snake story. Did you ever come across like a haunted house or anything like that?
No, I have passed houses that they say that they saw Hanks. But I didn't go 10 miles around so to keep from going past his house.
Right.
Yeah.
Just mind your business and keep on going.
There you go. Yeah. And like I said, I always knew it wasn't a real whatever it was.
Right.
Because they can't do that.
Yeah. Somebody stood out.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's how I knew. And something had to inform me to see something, 40 yards and know it's not real.
Mm-hmm.
Something had to tell me that.
Yeah. Yeah, and your spirit, you recognize that.
Yeah. And I never had, excuse me, intention for running.
Mm-hmm.
That was a kid back home. He ran let's see, I forgot how many miles he ran. But he had 8-day pneumonia.
Mm.
And 8-day pneumonia means if you're not cured in 8 days,
That's a wrap.
yeah, nighttime.
Mm.
So, okay then. Well, that's all I can tell you about Hank. Like I said, I never saw one with a name tag. I'm a Hank, and if you don't believe it, try and catch me.
Right. Nah, this is respect. This is respect.
Yeah, no, I ain't tried to scare them off or discourage them or nothing.
All right. Well, only thing I got left, I know I asked you a lot of questions today, and you've been patient with me. But I got to ask you, not even necessarily questions, but in general, I ask you pretty general questions, right? Just about your life. But I'm actually curious to know about certain things that just you and I have done in the past. And one of the first ones, I was thinking about this the other day, right? Because I was just like, man, what's some of my first memories with Grandpa? And it might not be something that stood out to you, but I remember one time when I must have been, I couldn't have been no more than 7 years old. I was a little kid, but I remember being at Burt Street, and you came home from working, and you got out the truck, and I was already outside running around with whoever in the neighborhood, and somehow or another I challenged you to a race. And me and you raced down the street, and I just knew I had you in the bag, man. And you kicked it into third gear, fifth gear. You showed some speed. I said, Grandpa's fast. I'll never forget that because I just knew I could beat you in a race.
Yeah.
And you had me. Do you remember that at all?
No, not exactly. I was trying to pick it up somewhere there.
I wish I had more details to it. I just remember being really young.
Yeah.
I probably hadn't been running long, but I just said I could beat Grandpa for racing. That's another
thing. See, in racing, I was the fastest one in our family. Mm-hmm. I could outrun all of them, and I did it.
Yep.
And somehow the speed just come to me.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how I was able to play basketball the way I did. Mm-hmm. Because I had a fast takeoff, and not only I was quick to take off, but I could run too. Mm-hmm. A lot of guys didn't have both of those.
Right.
He had to, if he's gonna run, he got to wind up and get all the engine going and everything. But I could start out, man. I could start out in high gear. And if I didn't want to do that, I can start off and let the next one go ahead, mm-hmm. and I can catch them whenever I get ready.
Right. Whenever it's time.
Yeah, when the time is right. So that I've had all my life, I guess you could say.
See, you didn't tell me that before I challenged you to it already. You left that part out.
Yeah, but I didn't know you were going to challenge me. But once the challenge came, I had to show you.
That's it. Well, what about one of my fondest memories with you is when you first took me to the men's breakfast at the church.
Okay.
And that stuck with me for real because, it was seeing you in a different light, just the guys, we was all hanging out. The food was amazing,
okay.
and, it was a good time. And I always wondered how long you've been doing that and what made you, bring me along.
Well, you probably wouldn't have never had a prayer breakfast mm-hmm. had I not done that. Mm-hmm. And the way I got introduced to it, somewhat the same way. Mm. I got some pictures there that the two guys that introduced me to it.
Okay.
I got them on the film,
Okay.
and I'll show them to you. Oscar Johnson and Paul Pressey used to play for the Bucks.
Okay. Yeah. I've heard you talk about him.
Okay, yeah. He came by my house, him and Oscar. And then when we were ready to leave, the prayer breakfast thing came up. And Oscar he says, I'll pay for your breakfast. Now, if Oscar's going to pay for my breakfast, that's unusual. He's a receiver. He's
not a giver.
No, he's not a giver. And so I went, and I was going ever since.
Yeah.
So when you came along, I wanted you to experience what I experienced.
And I'm glad you did. I'm glad you brought me along.
Yeah.
Because that's important. I think that there needs to be more of that.
Of that
Definitely.
going on, yeah.
Definitely. But yeah, no, I definitely remember those Saturdays going.
Yeah.
Probably went like 3 or 4 times.
Let's see, I believe that was a Tuesday. Tuesday breakfast.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I'm thinking it was the weekend.
I think it was Tuesday.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
We used to get in that truck. Grandpa's pickup truck.
Yeah. And you was driving the last time you went to, or was that? That might have been.
I don't think he let
Paul's
me drive. Yeah. I don't think I was that. I don't think I had made it to that level yet.
To that far, yeah. That was Brandon. That's who it was.
Got you. Yeah.
Yeah, so let me tell you one more story about things I saw. Like I said, I never saw anything with a name tag on my hand. But I've seen things that are unnatural, and I don't know what it were, but it wasn't real, that I know. But I was coming home, what we call the big pastor, down home now. And I was figuring to go through the gate, the gap we call it. You gotta open it, or you got to bend down and get under the wire. And I heard a noise when I was halfway getting under the wire. I heard a noise, and it was unusual noise, the sound of it, but I didn't see nothing. I got back to the wire, and I started down the path where the noise was coming from. And before I got there, I saw what I had never seen before.
What was that?
There was 3 cows up in the tree.
Whoa.
I don't think you never saw a tree cow.
Never in my life.
No,
3 of them.
It was 3 of them. They were walking around up in the tree. One stumbling. They was walking around and making this noise that I had never heard before. That's what interested me. Now, you might say it was time to go the other way when you
Yes.
heard that noise.
Yeah.
But I was always curious of what's making the noise. And so I went back, and when I saw it, I ain't believing this. So I know it had to be some kind of spirit in it. And it was at night, and it was a glow around the cows as they were walking around up in the tree. So I didn't go all the way to the tree. I got out the road, and I'm looking at it from the edge of the bushes. And I stayed there a good while. And as long as I stayed there, it was walking. There were 3 cows walking around up in the tree, and they wasn't right off near the ground.
They was up there.
They were way up there.
Walking around.
Walking around.
That's crazy.
and making this noise. And the noise is what triggered me to do it, because I ain't never heard that noise before.
Right.
And I stayed there and watched it. And I said, well, I don't think you're going to do no more tricks, so I'm going home. I got back in the road, and as long as I was in that vicinity, they were still doing that noise. And I never saw it again.
Man. So when you got home, like, was that the type of thing that you would tell somebody about? Would you ever tell your parents or your brothers that? Or you just kind of kept it to yourself?
I just kept that because it was so far-fetched.
Far-fetched?
Yeah. Until if I tell somebody, they're going to be scared to go in that direction.
But
So
you knew that you shouldn't be scared of it.
No, they ain't done nothing to me. They didn't threaten me or nothing.
Right.
But it was just making that noise in an unusual situation.
Yeah, I'll say.
Now the lights, I don't know where that came from, but it wasn't no bright light. It was a glow light. But they was walking around up in the tree.
Man, that's interesting. But you make me keep my eyes peeled out here, Grandpa, just in case I see something. I'm like, all right, well, that's Grandpa told me about those. That's a Hank.
Yeah. But now I didn't say I saw a Hank. What did I say?
You said you just saw something unnatural.
I didn't see no name tag.
Right.
Says I'm a Hank.
Right.
But I know what I see is not natural.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I know,
yeah.
And that's what I see. So that's my story. I never been chased by anything, and I've been in some places where if you're gonna be chased, this is it right here. People done saw different things and make something out of it. And a lot of stuff that I saw, I didn't tell nobody because they're gonna be scared, especially my sisters and brothers.
Right.
They'd be scared to crack the door after the sun go down.
Mm-hmm. And you ain't want to do that.
Didn't want to do that. So I just kept it to myself. And I've had some personal things I saw around our house.
Which house? The one that you live at now?
No, in Mississippi.
In Mississippi, guys.
Yeah. And just like I didn't run, I didn't get scared, didn't wonder what it is and all that. But I'm coming home one night, and when I turned out the road, you come up to the house, the house wasn't right where it's at now, the Jean's house.
Mm-hmm.
It was further back towards the ditch.
Okay.
And I see an object out in front of the house that I know wasn't there when I left. What is it? I don't know. It took me about 2 hours to get from the road to the house.
2 hours?
I'm trying to figure out what am I looking at. What is it? It wasn't there when I left. And we ain't got nothing like that to keep. What is it? So I wound up, we had a pond between the road and the house. And there was a tree there. And what I saw, I couldn't figure out what it were. That's what bothered me. Made me stay in that, not come on to the house. And I got the feeling, I says, now I could go back to Big Mama's house, and by tomorrow he'd be gone. No, if I do that, I will never know what was out there.
Right.
And you ain't gonna bag me away from home because you standing up there in the way.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally made up my mind. I'm going to the house. Now, whatever you do, whatever you figure on doing, you go ahead and do it, because I'm going to the house. And I start walking. Well, I made a few steps because I didn't have far to go to meet up with him. And I didn't want to meet nothing that big because he was pretty good size. And you'll know when I tell you the rest of it. So, when I got almost to him, he walked away. And the bell sounded. It was our mule standing up to sleep. And we had to put a bell on him because he know how to go and hide and stay hid till you stop looking for him.
So you had to put that on him so you knew where he was.
Know where he was. And he's standing up there, but he's facing straight to me, so his head didn't show. I just see this big blob or whatever it is there.
Wow.
So it took something to walk past it.
Right.
I said, I'm going home.
Man, and it was the mule the whole time.
Whole time. Yeah. That was a mule. But now, if I had went to Big Mama's, which I could have, but I would always be wondering what was that I saw.
Exactly.
I knew it wasn't there when I left home.
Yeah, that would have bothered you.
Yeah, that would have bothered me. So I didn't deal with that, and a lot of other things I saw, I didn't deal with it. And I'll give you one more, and then we'll close out.
All right.
I came home one night, and we had killed hogs that day. And came home, went in the house, took my clothes off, put my night clothes on, and got in the bed. As soon as I hit that bed, I heard a noise outside. Now, I know it's a noise that's being made. I don't know what's making it, because when I go to the window, I can't see around the corner there. So now what do? You at home.
Gotta go investigate.
You gotta check it out.
And knowing you went by yourself.
I'm by myself.
Well, I would have woke somebody up so fast. Hey, check this out, man. Gene, wake up. Man.
What I did, I went back, put my clothes back on. The shotgun, we kept it in the closet. I got the shotgun, loaded it, the double barrel, and I took the box with me.
Just in case.
Because I'm not going out here to run. I'm going out here to find out what is making that noise. And it ain't no Hank, I don't think.
Yeah.
So I got the shotgun and I cocked it, both barrels. Like I said, I ain't going out here to run.
Right. Now you going out there ready.
I'm serious now.
You ready.
You invade my property.
Yeah.
And I walked to the corner, and guess what I saw? A big dog looked like he might have been a shepherd, but looked like he was one of those, what you call them, Great Danes.
Yeah, Great Danes.
He looked big. Like that big.
Ooh,
he was
man.
a big dog.
In the middle of the night.
Well, yeah, I don't know what time.
Getting late. Yeah.
What other time? But anyway, I don't want to kill the dog, so I see it's a dog now. Oh, what was happening? You know, like apple bite. You push the apple over here and you bite it when it comes back to you. That's what he was doing. The scraps from the kill of the hog.
Oh, was
hanging. And we hang it there so the dog couldn't reach it. But this dog
was big enough.
He was big enough. I don't know where he came from, because we know all the dogs in the community.
Right, so you never seen this dog before. And Great Danes definitely will be tall enough to reach something everybody else can't.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So what I did, I went back to the porch, I uncocked the gun, laid it on the porch, and I got me. There was always some pots of bricks laying around in the yard. I got me two, one and a half brick, but good sized piece.
Okay.
Cause I'm still not ready to run.
Right.
And if he don't take my bluff, he gonna get my brick.
He gonna feel that.
Cause I could throw.
Yeah.
And hard too. So now the gun is laying on the porch. The shell's on the porch.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's me and the dog. I went and found them bricks. And then I got a garbage can top.
Okay.
Because I want to make some noise. I want him to be
Yeah.
going the other way.
Scare him off.
Because if he come to me, he gonna get these two bricks I got.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna lay him out.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't running. And I waited till the sack swing to him,
Mm-hmm.
and he's involved in trying to get him some old grease out of that bag. And what do you do? Get out of here!
Took out.
And he took off. He sounded like a horse running.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
Scared the juice out of him.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, what was the proper thing to do
I think
from
what
your
you
point of
did-
view?
I think what you did, you didn't have to kill him. You just had to scare him off. That was the smart thing to do.
Yeah, I didn't go out there to kill him. I could have shot him, but
Right.
what did I gain from that?
Mm-hmm. No, all you had to do was scare him enough so he'll go away. And
Oh, he went away in a hurry.
mm-hmm.
That dog was, he was all the way over on the hill, we call it,
Uh-huh.
heading toward the woods. and he was still making some noise, man. Boogity, boogity.
Yeah, they get the galloping.
Yes, sir. Scared him away.
Man.
So I think that should cover us for today.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. We almost hit 2 hours again.
Yeah.